starring Chuck Connors.
Well, what do you say to that, Lucas?
Well, I say if I were a betting man, I'd put my money on you in that Charity Day race Saturday.
Thanks, Lucas.
Oh, come on, son, we better get back to the ranch. You got a good one this time, Gabe.
I told you to get rid of those horses, didn't I?
Mr. Preston's just my brood mare, my stallion, and this colt here.
You're a sharecropper. I've fed you and your wife and your 3 kids for almost a year now. I didn't bargain on you wasting all your time training those horses.
You might as well quit pushing, Mr. Preston. You gave me an option to buy this land, I'm going to buy it. Nothing you can do to me is going to change it.
Maybe so. But you better get rid of those horses, because if you don't, I'm going to shoot them and use them for wolf bait.
Show your pretty heels to all of them. I can't wait to see the eyes bug out on them big horse buyers from Denver, huh? There you are, boy. Feel better? Molly? Molly, where are you? Molly!
And where would I be, Gabe Fenway, except right here getting your dinner the same as I've been doing for the past 15 years?
Lucas just timed Sapphire for me. 23 seconds flat. Oh, boy, honey, we're going to win us a race. And with the money I'm going to get from that colt, we're going to make old Jake Preston eat crow like he's never done before in his life.
I saw Jake Preston talking to you. What did he want this time?
Just complaining about me keeping the horses on the places I'm wasting time on him.
Why can't he leave us alone?
Because it ain't his way.
But you've held up your end of the bargain.
Yeah, that's just it, honey, I have. And he never figured I would. Now, come on, let me worry about that end of it, huh?
It's my worry, too. Because I see what it's doing to you. And I feel I caused it with my complaining.
Oh, honey, you never complained a day in your life. A dozen times I've pulled up stakes and moved on, and you never said a word about it.
And I won't this time, if you want to move along.
No, Molly, not this time. Because that's exactly what Jake Preston's counting on. He never figured I'd stick it. That's why he gave me the option to buy this place. And he never figured I'd raise the money to pick it up. But that colt's going to give it to us. Now, let's forget about it, huh? Oh. Hey, you want to come into town this afternoon and pick up supplies?
Oh, I think I'd better be here when the kids get home from school. You go ahead.
Right.
The list is right there on the table. But first, you're going to sit right down and have your dinner.
These kids of ours sure do go through shoes, don't they? Oh, that looks good.
What are you daydreaming about, Mark?
23 seconds. That's pretty fast, isn't it?
Huh? Oh, you mean Gabe's Sapphire colt, huh? Well, it's no world's record for a quarter horse, but I figure it's fast enough to beat any horse that'll be in that race.
Well, how fast do you figure a blue boy can run?
Blue boy? Hard to say.
I'd sure like to time him sometime.
But you wanted to make a cutting horse out of him.
I do. Mr. Fenway's gonna sell Sapphire, isn't he?
Well, there's always a lot of horse buyers from up north watching these quarter horse races. Winning horse usually brings a good price.
I wouldn't sell Blue Boy, even if he won.
Well, you're not Mr. Fenway trying to make a home for a wife and 3 children.
Say, Paul, just for fun, just so I'd know, could we time Blue Boy?
Oh, I guess so sometime. We can measure out a quarter of a mile.
Oh, but I've already got one measured.
You've been running that horse?
But, Paul, Blue Boy loves to run more than anything.
Well, he wouldn't be much of a horse if he didn't, would he? All right, let me have that watch of yours.
Oh, great. I'll get him saddled. How fast?
22?
22? And I didn't even let him out. He can do better than that.
That's enough. You cool him out now.
All right. Oh, look at these banners. Aren't they something?
They really decked the town out for the charity day race, son.
Yep. Look, they're those same horse buyers that were here last year. I don't care how much they offer me, though. I won't sell them Blue Boy, even if I do win the race.
Just when did we decide you were going to enter Blue Boy in the race?
Oh, what, could I? Well, would you let me? They say anybody can enter the race, right in the rules.
Well, we'll think it over a while, then we'll decide, son.
Oh, there, Lucas.
Jake?
How you been?
No complaints. Say, that was a mighty fine stand of wheat that Gabe Fenway brought in for you.
Well, it could have been a sight better if he attended to business. That's how it goes. You try to help a man, and he'll take advantage of you every time. Now, he's supposed to be raising wheat for me on shares, not fooling around with those broken-down nags I had.
Mr. Preston, those are about the best horses this country's ever seen.
Oh, you expert, are you, son?
I know a fast horse when I see one.
Yeah, now, if that is so, you can make a lot of money. Ain't that right, Lucas?
Well, Mr. Preston, from what I hear, more folks go broke than get rich picking fast horses.
This colt of yours, Blue Boy, you figure he's pretty fast, huh?
He's faster than Mr. Fenway's Sapphire. We timed them both, didn't we, Pa?
Oh, you plan on entering him in the big race?
Well, I'd like to. Pa'd let me.
Let you? Well, I'll bet he's just busting with pride because you're going to do it. Ain't that so, Lucas?
I haven't decided yet, Jake.
Why not? You got a fast horse.
Yeah, Pa, why not?
What's the matter? You afraid the boy'll get beat? Is that it?
The boy knows nobody wins every time, Mr. Preston.
I know I can win this one.
Well, that's the kind of confidence I like to hear. That's the way to go about it, son. You just find out what you want, and you just go right out and get it, no matter what gets in your way.
I'd sure like to race Blue Boy.
Sure you would. You do it. Well, I'll see you, Lucas.
Pa, can I?
Son, if you're going to race horses, there's one thing you ought to learn. Don't give away all your secrets.
Then I can race him?
Now, if I was about your age, and I had a horse as good as yours, I'd want to.
You mean it?
I mean it. Now, let me buy a sarsaparilla.
Yahoo! Now, all you gotta do is just get in there and run like you've been doing. And forget about all those other horses. Just do your best. You're gonna win.
That horse ever talk back to you, boy?
Oh, hello, Mr. Preston.
So you figure that colt can run fast enough to beat Gabe Fenway's horse, huh?
Well, like my pa says, you never know in a horse race. But I think he'll beat him.
Why don't you let me see what he can do?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, boy.
All right, Mr. Preston. You got a watch? Take him down to that big sycamore and then run him on the way back. If I beat Mr. Fenway, that won't keep him from selling his horse, will it?
No, of course not. Come on, let me see him run.
Hiya, Lucas.
Gabe!
Well, I hope you got plenty of money bet on that sapphire colt of mine.
I couldn't do that. If I was a betting man, I'd have to keep it in the family.
What do you mean, Mark's gonna run Blue Boy?
Talk me into it.
Well, good for him. More the merrier. I'll tell you something, though. I'm glad that Blue Boy ain't been trained for racing. Boy's got quite a colt there, with a difference between my weight and his.
That'll be a fine race, Gabe. I've got to go over and see Micah. Good luck to you.
Thanks, Lucas. Oh, hello, Hattie. Well, the missus gave me a list of stuff to get. Well, those kids of mine need more every day. Go through shoes, man, I never seen nothing like it.
Gabe, I've got to talk to you.
Well, sure, Hattie. Always got time to talk to a pretty woman.
Gabe, there isn't any other way to tell you this except to just come right out and say it. Jake Preston told me not to give you any more credit.
Well, Hattie, you know my deal with Jake. I was to charge against his account till I brought the wheat crop in.
Gabe, believe me, I know this.
Well, then,
Jake Preston's a pretty important man around this town. Now, that doesn't mean I have to like it. But it does mean that I have to run his account the way he wants it.
yeah, sure, Hattie. Sure, I understand that.
Gabe, if you need food or something for the children,
I ain't never took charity in my life. Ain't gonna start now.
All right, you boys think so much of Fenway's colt. Let's see the color of your money.
You're not running me out, Jake Preston. Not like you done all the others. I got a deal with you, and you're gonna live up to it.
I intend to as soon as you start living up to your end of it. Not wasting all your time on those grass burners of yours.
Why don't you say what you're really after, Jake? You're scared I'm gonna sell that colt for enough money to buy up my option on that land, ain't that it?
Well, if it is, it's because I don't want no sharecropper and his outlaw kids for neighbors.
Here now, what's this all about?
It's private. You stay out of it.
You two have been spoiling for this long enough. Now what's going on here?
Oh, I call those nags of his grass burners, because that's what they are.
You never had horses like them in your life, and you never will.
Maybe not. But I don't see no sense in us fighting about it. Now, if that colt of yours is all you say is, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Or you all talk.
And you know I ain't got no money to bet.
All right. My share of the crop against yours, if your horse don't win.
Now, wait a minute.
Just as I thought, you're all mouth.
No, ain't you got a bet?
Gabe, why don't you cool off?
Now, wait a minute. I don't want any backing down on this. If your horse doesn't win, you forfeit. You all hear that? All right.
Gabe, you sure you know what you're doing?
No, it's too late now.
Mike, I don't like to see this kind of betting going on.
There's no law to keep a man from betting on his own horse.
It's more than a bet, you know that.
I know. But I'd rather see him fight it out with horses than with guns, and that's what it was coming to.
I wish I hadn't told Mark he could race.
I wouldn't worry about it, Lucas. This fight is between two grown men. Mark won't get mixed up in it in any way.
Well, I'm not too sure.
Lucas, what do you think? Is Mark's colt as fast as Jake Preston says he is? I ain't bet yet, but I'm sure gonna if that colt's so fast.
What are you talking about?
Ain't you heard? Jake Preston just bet $1,000 that your son's colt's gonna win the race.
Oh, he's even faster than I thought he was. I couldn't get to sleep last night just thinking about him. Do you think I really got a good chance of winning?
Mark, did you know that Jake Preston bet $1,000 on you?
No, fooling. That must mean he really thinks I'm gonna win.
Son, I don't like this betting business.
I didn't know anything about it. It's all right, isn't it?
I don't think so. It's gotten to be sort of a grudge fight between Jake Preston and Gabe Fenway.
They never did like each other very much. You said so yourself.
That's not the point. I don't want you getting tangled up in this sort of thing.
But, Pa, I didn't do it.
No, I know you didn't, but you've become a part of it, Mark.
I can't help it if somebody wants to bet on me, can I?
No, I suppose not. Mark, maybe you ought to wait till next year to race.
Pa, you promised me. I've been counting on it most more than I've ever counted on anything before in my life.
I know that.
It's not just me, but I promised Blue Boy. Guess that sounds sort of silly, doesn't it?
No, it's not silly, son. I understand.
And I can race him all right, can I?
Mark, don't get your heart set on it. I'm going into town. I'll see you later. Mark, don't forget to do your chores, huh?
All right. Don't worry, Blue Boy. Paul let me race you. He knows how much it means to us.
Sure hope your boy's taking good care of that horse of his.
Why'd you bet $1,000 on him, Jake?
Because I figure he's going to win.
It doesn't make sense, you betting that much money. Unless you know something that doesn't meet the eye.
Why are you pushing me for?
I don't like what you're doing to Gabe Fenway.
Doing to him? I take him in, give him a chance, feed him and his family, and what thanks do I get? Spends all of his time training those nags of his.
It seems to me it's not the first time you've had trouble with tenants.
You know, you're right. They're all the same. You try to help them, they'll take advantage of you. Now look at that outfit last year. Walked out on me just at harvest time.
Leaving you with both shares of crop. You didn't lose any money, Jake.
Lucas, I ain't in business to lose money. Either on my farming or my horse racing.
That's what I thought. So I thought I'd better tell you. You can recall your bets on Mark. He's not racing.
I don't care what you say. It isn't fair.
I know how you feel, Mark.
No, you don't. Well, if you did, you wouldn't tell me I couldn't race.
I've already told you, son. If you take part in it, you're going to get involved in a fixed race.
Oh, I don't believe it. Well, as long as I race Blue Boy fair and square and do my best to win...
I've already told you, Mark. The answer is no.
There, Mark.
Hello, Mr. Preston.
Big day, huh, Mark?
I guess so.
What do you mean you guess so? You're going to win that race, ain't you?
I'm not going to enter him. Changed my mind. Why'd you have to go and spoil everything?
Hey.
You didn't have to bet all that money on me. That's why my pa won't let me race.
Now, Mark, that's just what I wanted to tell you. Your pa is exactly right. Well, there never should have been no betting in the first place, and ain't going to be none.
He called it off?
Sure. See, Gabe and me had us a little quarrel, and, well, we lost our tempers and behaved like a couple of kids. No, I take that back. We behaved like grown-ups. Kids got better sense.
Well, if there's not going to be any betting...
Then there ain't no reason for you not to race.
I don't know. I shouldn't have sneaked off this morning without telling my pa.
Now, your pa's just about as understanding a man as I ever met. You better go on up and sign up for your entry. I'll straighten out things with your pa. I promise you.
No, sir. I gotta wait until he gets into town.
Oh, all right. In case McCain won't let his kid race, I may need me a little insurance. You better go over to the stable and take care of Gabe now.
Now, you just take it easy now, Sapphire. Take it easy. Remember what I told you. You're going to show your heels to all of them. There's no one can touch you. You keep going just like I told you, you're going to come home a winner. Understand? Just take it calm now, boy. Take it easy.
Come and get it, Mark. You gonna sleep all day, son? No reason why we can't go watch the race. You might learn something. You'll be running next year. Mike tells me they got an Apache Indian with a trained bear. Mark? Mark?
Mr. Fenway, what happened? Here. I'll be right back, Mr. Fenway.
Micah? Have you seen Mark?
Just a minute ago, we went up to the stable to see Gabe.
Whoa! Watch Mr. Fenway!
What happened?
I don't know. I just came in here and it was like...
Gabe. Gabe, who was it?
Oh, I don't know.
Somebody wanted to make sure you weren't in that race. Doesn't take much guessing who.
If Sapphire's not in the race, Gabe will forfeit his crop. And he's in no condition to ride.
Now, wait a minute. Mark, you wanted to be in that race. The bet was on the horse, not the rider. You think you're up to it, son?
You mean me ride Sapphire?
That's what I mean.
Sure.
Get going, son.
I'm sorry about what happened this morning.
Talk about that later.
Don't worry, Mr. Fenway. I'll ride Sapphire and we'll win. No matter what. Thanks, boy.
Come on, you weather-burned horse tamers. Get them critters in line. No jumping the gun. Ed, get that horse back.
Go ahead, Lucas. Watch the race. I'll take care of Gabe.
Oh, I want to...
Oh, easy. Easy now, Gabe.
Clem, over to your left. Murray, hold that critter still. Come on, come on. This is a race, not a bucking contest. Now, steady, wait, keep your places. When the gun goes, let her rip.
Son, Gabe's gonna be mighty happy.
Yeah, but did you see me when I was...
I sure did.
Mr. Fenway will sure be glad that you've been working his horse for him. When are we going to take him back?
Oh, as soon as Gabe gets on his feet.
Paul, do you think it's true that I won that race because I'm so much lighter than Mr. Fenway?
Well, Mark, weight's a big factor in the race, no doubt about that. What's the matter? You still think your horse could have beaten Sapphire?
I guess I'll always wonder who would have won.
Well, why don't we find out?
What do you mean?
You see that boulder down there at the end of the road? That's the finish line.
Great!
Ready?
Ready!
Go! Satisfied?
Yeah, but just wait until next year. Blue Boy will be a little older and I'll be a little bigger.
Well, son, as far as I'm concerned, you're pretty big right now.